Well, guys, 10 years in crypto, 7 years in crypto blogging as of July. Um, so some of my thoughts based on that and where we're going, what we've seen. Litecoin has obviously been a main focus of this channel for the last year and a half because it was one of the only plays that I felt like there was a for sure thing that you could time it with the halvening. And if you bought it last year and you wrote it up before the halvening, you got rid of it, now you can buy back in. We hit $60 today in Litecoin, and that is a very, very solid price. That's about 91% from its high from this last cycle, and it's not a bad price. Not a bad price. Could go back down to 50 or thereabouts, but I just don't really see it going much lower than 50. It could. Most of those moves would be quick capitulation moves, but 60 is not a bad price. Now, what about some of the other stuff? And I've been looking at Ethereum a lot, and there was a point where it was like, I'm expecting it to fall to $500 or $600. I was thinking that like a year ago, and obviously it had capitulated down under 800 or thereabouts to 800, but it never got down to like 500 or 600. It's like, could it do that now? And I've been looking at the gas fees. I've been looking at the NFT market just overall and seeing would everything gravitate away from that, just because of the gas fees and all that kind of stuff is just outrageous, and that people would eventually get sick of that and just migrate away from Ethereum. And a lot of that hasn't happened. It's been kind of curious, and obviously we're hovering around these levels that have not kind of fallen much below 1600. And do we see this additional capitulation moves, hard capitulation moves downward, or do people think it's too risky to go ahead and sell out and get out of that at those price levels? And it's really hard to say. I'm just sometimes it's just the whole Ethereum thing is just very, very precarious. I'm just not that impressed with obviously the upgrades for Ethereum 2.0, and it's going to take a long time to that. It gives a little bit more capacity and everything, and at the end of the day, I just think it's I'm just kind of perplexed why people kind of somewhat stay on that chain or still really interact with it, because the other EVM chains and some of the other ecosystems are just far progressed away from what Ethereum is. But again, it becomes pot committed. People have put their investments there, and first movers advantage with the with the smart contract platform and stuff like that. It's hard to trump that. Something about being first. Definitely something about being first. So now that being said, some of the other things, and I've mentioned this before with Dogecoin, you get down this 6-cent level, 5-cent level. So Data Dash, I happened to see a video by him, and he was saying, it could collapse down clear to 2 cents. And while that may be something that could hypothetically happen, I just don't see that, because we've been at this 5 to 6 cent range for Dogecoin for a year now. It has kind of had this long tail. And, when you're looking at that, you're looking at, thereabouts of a 90% drawdown from its peak. So, how much further could it fall? Certainly there's been cryptos that have lost 98 or 99% of their value. But Dogecoin is staying up there, in this top, 10, top 12, positions. And it's been pretty solid there, because we don't know Elon's plan with it. And obviously, as I've mentioned before, all roads lead to the Doge, because not only can you lever against it like you can with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, these others, on some of these money markets, let's say on the Binance Smart Chain and other platforms, you also, it's pretty much on every exchange, and then people, it's a good mechanism to move exchange to exchange. A lot of times the withdrawal amounts or not that much. So it's kind of a cost-effective way to withdraw funds from one exchange and move those funds over to another exchange if you're trying to get something that's not listed on the exchange that you were just on. So there ends up being a lot of utility to it from that perspective. And again, we don't know what Elon's plan is with X. And just in general, it has the cost unit the unit biased favorability over stuff like Litecoin, BNB, Ethereum, Bitcoin. Because again, I've just seen it in the last 10 years that I'm in crypto, over and over again. People want to own a lot of something. They don't want to just own one of something or 0.1 of something or 0.5 of something. They want to own a lot of something. And you can still do that with Doge. It's 5 or 6 cent range. It's not bad. It's not bad. What do I expect for Doge for this next time? I think conservatively, you can somewhat, myself, not financial advice, you can do what you want, anticipate 10x on that, 10x on that. With something like Bitcoin, you're going to be lucky to get 3x in my opinion. And with something like Ethereum, you're going to be lucky to get 5x. Dogecoin, you could potentially get 10x. With some of the other stuff, if you're going out on the list, and I've mentioned some of these others, and this will be a little bit of a gift for you guys because I don't want to sit there and give all my secrets away and stuff like that. But I do anticipate something like digibyte, that if you bought in now at the 6/10 of a cent level, you could potentially hit a 20x with that. Or, not necessarily you, again, not financial advice, but myself, that, you look at the chart of that, look at the max chart on digibyte, tailor-made. So again, another good one, stack. And then the other one, I mentioned it before, and there's some other dogs out there looking to stack, but is Telos. And you look at it, and it actually, the market cap actually got cleared down to like 20 million in a previous capitulation move. Right now it's maybe like 27 million market cap. It's probably about 550th place on coin market cap, which is a double-edged sword. It could fall and never come back, but they've signed a lot of sort of agreements with various different companies that are building on it here of recent. Uphold is adding it, and if you know about Uphold, that's a good kind of fiat gateway that I've used over the years and everything to get fiat money into the crypto space, or to get back out to fiat money back to the bank account. US based exchange or service, I should say, to buy and sell crypto. So that Telos is going to be listed there, or it possibly already is. I haven't checked that yet. Other things as well, they had signed the GameStop partnership, because really when it boils down to it, when you look at the gaming, and I've been very, very deep in the weeds on this, there's not a lot of these blockchains that you could actually really do Web3 or do crypto gaming on, which is going to bring up some other topics in my next video. But that being said, a legitimate outfit, let's say like GameStop, they know if they're going to transition to the next, evolution of gaming and where things are going with Web3 gaming, crypto gaming, you can't build it on Ethereum. You're not going to, Solana goes down all the time. Somewhat of issues with Polygon, but let's just say if you could maybe-ish build this stuff on Polygon or on, on Solana or Avalanche or something like that. But the one that stands out technologically that you could do this on would be Telos. For several reasons. You have a lot of utility in the fact that you have the original EOS IO software that you can utilize those contracts, C++ contracts, and then you have the EVM side of things, and you can go back and forth between the two. So there's different things you could do with that. You could use the original EOS IO software for human readable usernames. You could do other kind of utility with that, and then transfer back and forth to the EVM side, and deploy existing code that maybe has to do with NFTs. This could help with bridgeability from other blockchains, like NFTs on other blockchains, bridging them and wormhole them over to like Telos or something like that. There's a lot of things you could do with it if somebody would spend the time and the money on it. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a lot of development, and it's going to take a lot of resources to actually do it. So that being said, guys, 10 years in crypto, 7 years in the blogging aspect of crypto. Steam came out July of 26, or I got on Steam July of 2016. So, shout out to all you guys that have been along for that ride over all those years and stuff like that. And right now we're in a point where things are like very, very boring, and an uneasy feeling, like how low could this stuff go? But I know from my experience, when I start feeling like that, like I'm exhausted, or I just feel like, man, I don't know about this stuff, that's a good time to be putting in positions. And like I said, a lot of these that I've been tracking, they've kind of long tailed out for a year. Could go lower certainly, but at some point you keep slowly building those positions and making it a point. This is the time to build positions. I mean, in the next week, and there could be another 6 months to a year of pain. But this is when you do it. And you guys saw me do it the last time around, late 2018 and then late 2019. Stack. And it's painful. But the return that you can get in this market is unrivaled by any other market. You can't do that in real estate. You can't do that in the car market. You really can't do it in any other. You're not going to do it in the commodities market. You're not going to do it in the stock market. You could maybe do these, some kind of ultra leverage or something, or do some options or something, kind of hit a banger or something, stock and option market. But nothing compared to crypto. And, that's one of the reasons we're in it. And then obviously we're in it for the freedom and, all that. So anyway, guys, those are my thoughts right now. Those are just a little bit of tidbits. Not a lot of people are watching. So, some of those gems out there to keep watching. And, if you think it's right for you to stack those, that's a little bit of insight. But anyway, guys, follow me on all social media, @BrentPhobos, YouTube, Instagram, Steemit, Twitter, Hive, DTube. See you guys later.